What if I told you your life could look entirely different just 30 days from now? Not in theory, not in dreams, in reality. That's right, 30 days. That's how long it takes to go from tired to focused, from scattered to strategic, from overwhelmed to unstoppable. But most people never get there, because they're waiting for the perfect year, the right month, the ideal time, and that time never comes. Let me ask you something. How many years have you promised yourself that this year would be different? How many Januaries, birthdays, and Mondays have passed by with nothing but good intentions and no action? Today that ends. This is not just a motivational talk. This is a war cry for your future, because your life is not waiting for you to feel ready. It's waiting for you to get serious. Transformation doesn't take years. It takes decisions. That's the truth no one wants to admit. People love to talk about 5-year plans, 10-year visions, and someday dreams, but the problem isn't the timeline. The problem is the delay. Most people use time as an excuse, not a strategy. They say, I'll start after I feel ready, or I'll begin when life calms down. But life never calms down. The calendar doesn't magically open up for you. Success is not waiting for you to feel comfortable. It's waiting for you to decide. Change doesn't happen in slow motion. It happens in a single moment of clarity. One firm, unshakable decision to no longer tolerate the version of yourself that underperforms, underdelivers, and overthinks. You don't need more time. You need more intention, more focus, more boldness. The reality is, everything in your life right now is a result of the choices you've been making daily. Your health, your confidence, your income, your energy. None of it is random. All of it is a reflection of what you've been tolerating. And the moment you stop tolerating the excuses, the distractions, the wasted hours, that's the moment everything begins to change. Transformation begins not when you buy a course, not when you get a mentor, not when your environment changes, but when your internal decision flips. When you say, I'm done negotiating with my potential. I'm done being average at things that matter. And yes, that moment of decision can be scary. Because when you commit, you eliminate the safety net. You stop allowing yourself to fall back into old patterns. That's why most people avoid it. They flirt with change, but they don't marry it. They dabble in self-growth, but they don't dive in. But let me tell you something. 1 month of discipline, 1 month of locked-in focus, 1 month of showing up regardless of mood. That's enough to shift the entire direction of your life. If you take one area, just one, and commit to daily, focused improvement for 30 straight days, you will not recognize yourself, because consistency compounds. Most people quit on day 5, right before their brain and body begin to adapt. But if you push through that resistance, if you stay the course, you earn momentum. And momentum is unstoppable once it begins. So don't ask yourself, how long will it take? Ask instead, am I willing to begin? One decision can launch the best chapter of your life. One decision can unlock the version of you that's been buried under years of fear and distraction. You don't need to be ready. You need to be willing, willing to start messy, willing to fail forward, willing to transform, not tomorrow, but today. Because when you decide with everything inside you that this is it, that you will no longer accept a half-lived life, the universe moves, the path reveals itself, and you realize transformation never took time, it only ever took courage. Your current routine is a blueprint for your future. Look closely at your day-to-day actions, the way you wake up, what you eat, how you think, how much you move, how long you scroll, the conversations you allow, the promises you make and break to yourself. These small choices aren't just habits, they are predictions. They quietly whisper the direction your life is heading, and most people don't realize this until it's too late. They keep living in repetition, hoping for transformation. But you can't repeat the same patterns and expect a new destination. The truth is, your life doesn't change when the calendar flips. It changes when your habits do. People often say they're waiting for a breakthrough. But breakthroughs don't show up out of nowhere. They're built brick by brick in the dark through the routines no one claps for. You want success. Look at what you do between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. You want confidence. Watch how you carry yourself when no one is watching. You want a new life. Change your system, not just your goals. Most people don't have bad intentions. They have weak structures. They want success, but they haven't built an environment that demands it. They want focus, but they live in chaos. They want energy, but they sleep 4 hours and wake up to their phones, and then they wonder why nothing's changing. But life doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to what you prepare for. Your routine is either training you for greatness or keeping you in survival mode. This is why a 1-month success guide is powerful. It interrupts the pattern. It takes your energy away from random behavior and channels it into intentional design. It forces you to wake up and own your minutes, not just count them. You stop being reactive and you start becoming strategic. Because every system you build, whether it's a morning routine, a workout plan, a focused workspace, or a writing habit, starts pulling you closer to the person you said you wanted to become. You don't need $1 million idea to start. You need a daily structure that supports bold action. Success doesn't belong to the talented. It belongs to the disciplined. People often ask, what's the secret to success? The answer is simple: strong habits that work when motivation doesn't. You won't always feel like pushing. That's why your system must push for you. So if you're serious about changing your life in 1 month, start here. Examine your routine. What needs to go? What needs to be added? What time are you wasting that could be used for growth? What behaviors are silently sabotaging your future? Fix that. Replace that. Design that. Because your future is not a mystery. It's a mirror. And that mirror is your routine. Change what you do daily, and you'll change what you experience permanently. The fastest way to predict your future isn't with a dream board, it's with your calendar. The 4-week rule is simple: focus, discipline, and relentless action. That's it. These 3 principles, applied ruthlessly for just 1 month, can produce more transformation than most people achieve in an entire year. The problem is not that people lack goals. It's that they lack the grit to consistently chase them without distraction, without drama, without needing applause. 1 month of pure commitment can create a version of you that people won't even recognize. But first, you have to stop negotiating with your excuses. For the next 30 days, you don't need balance. You need obsession, not forever, just 1 month. Go all in. Build the habit of intensity, because the world doesn't reward people who dabble. It rewards people who execute. Think of it like this. If you had to push a car, the first few seconds take everything you've got. That's the resistance phase. But once it starts moving, momentum makes it easier. Life works the same way. The first few days of change are hard. Your body resists. Your mind argues. But if you push through that discomfort for a few consistent days, momentum kicks in, and suddenly everything becomes lighter. In this 4-week strategy, you're not reinventing your life. You're reprogramming it. You take back control from laziness, from fear, from all the internal dialogue that's been holding you hostage. You make your calendar your battlefield, and every day you check off a win. Wake up earlier, move your body, create instead of consume, cut the fluff and triple your focus. You don't need 10 goals. You need 1 purpose. Let that drive everything. This kind of clarity is rare. That's why it's powerful. The average person gets distracted every 8 minutes. They start something, stop, scroll, compare, overthink, and lose all momentum. But if you shut down distractions, even for a few hours a day, you become dangerous. Because focus in this era is a superpower. Use it for 30 days, and you'll create breakthroughs others only dream about. But none of this works without discipline. The discipline to say no to what's easy and yes to what's necessary. To work when you're tired, to keep showing up when the motivation fades, and it will fade. That's when most people quit. But if you hold the line, if you push one more day, one more hour, one more task, you cross an invisible threshold. That's when you stop being someone who tries and become someone who executes. And it's not about being perfect. It's about being relentless. You will mess up. You will feel tired, but you don't break the chain. You reset, you refocus, you move forward, because success isn't about never failing. It's about never quitting for too long. So 1 month, one mission, one non-negotiable promise to yourself. Show up every single day, do the work, and stay locked in. If you give yourself fully to this for 30 days, you won't just change your results. You'll change your identity. And once your identity shifts, your destiny follows. Relentless action, repeated daily, is the fastest way to rewrite your future. You're 1 month away from the life you keep imagining. Let that sink in. All the visions you've had, the healthier version of you, the more focused, more confident, more disciplined you. It's not some distant fantasy. It's 1 bold month away. But here's the catch. Imagination is easy. Execution is rare. Most people fantasize about the life they want while continuing to live in ways that guarantee they'll never get it. They dream of freedom, but stay addicted to comfort. They imagine transformation, but avoid the discomfort that transformation demands. This 1 month journey is a test, not of your talent, but of your hunger. You don't need to be the smartest. You don't need connections. You don't need luck. You just need to want it badly enough to do the hard stuff when it's inconvenient, to wake up early when it's cold, to work in silence when no one's applauding, to show up even when your emotions don't want to cooperate, because that's where growth lives. On the other side of resistance, the person you want to become isn't found in some secret formula. They're already inside you, waiting for you to stop making excuses and start making moves, waiting for you to stop talking about change and actually commit to it. And yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. You'll have days where you question yourself, days when it feels like nothing's working. But guess what? That's part of the process. That's not a sign to quit. That's a sign you're on the right path, and you know what else. When you fully commit, things begin to align, you think clearer, your confidence rises, people treat you differently, not because the world changed, but because you did. Your energy shifts, your standards rise. And that's magnetic. Opportunities find people who are ready for them, not people who are still thinking about it. So what's really standing in your way? Is it time? Or is it your unwillingness to sacrifice the distractions you secretly enjoy? Is it fear, or is it your attachment to the identity you've built around being stuck? Let's be honest. Deep down, you already know what needs to change. You know what habits are keeping you small. You know what patterns are making you tired. You don't need more information. You need decision, a real no-turning back decision to go all in for 30 days, to live as the person you say you want to be, because 1 month from now, you'll either look in the mirror and see evidence of your excuses, or evidence of your evolution. The choice is yours. You can keep imagining the life you want, or you can do the work and start living it. But don't lie to yourself anymore. If you don't start now, when will you? The clock is ticking. Not in fear, but in opportunity. This is your window. 1 month of real commitment can give you back years of regret. That life you keep seeing in your mind, it's real, it's possible. And it's waiting for you on the other side of consistent action. This isn't a guide, it's a mirror. That's what makes it powerful. You see, most people want a plan, a checklist, a motivational speech that tells them what to do. But what they really need is a confrontation with themselves. A 1 month success guide doesn't just change your habits, it reveals who you really are when no one's watching. It strips away the noise, the excuses, the stories you've been telling yourself for years. And in that silence, in that raw honesty, you meet the real you, the one you've been avoiding. When you commit to a focused 30-day challenge, it becomes more than a plan. It becomes a test of character. You'll find out whether you follow through when it's not convenient, whether you keep your promises to yourself when no one else is there to check on you, whether you do what you said you would, long after the mood you said it in is gone. That's where transformation happens, not in comfort, not in motivation, but in accountability to yourself. This guide is a mirror because every skipped task, every ignored alarm, every broken discipline, it all reflects something. Not failure, but truth. Truth about your patterns, your priorities, and your mindset. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's why it's so powerful, because change doesn't come from pretending. It comes from owning your flaws and then choosing not to let them control you anymore. Think about it. We live in a world full of distractions, shortcuts, and fake confidence. Everyone's posting highlights, but very few are building real discipline. This journey cuts through that. It won't flatter you, it will challenge you, it will frustrate you, but that's exactly why it works. Because when you're forced to see yourself clearly, your weaknesses, your habits, your resilience, you start to rebuild yourself from the inside out. That's the foundation of real success, and don't mistake this as something reserved for elite people. Anyone can do this. What matters is not how fit, smart, or wealthy you are when you start. What matters is how honest you're willing to be about where you are, and how committed you are to moving forward. This month will teach you that growth doesn't belong to the gifted. It belongs to the committed. The ones who show up tired, the ones who finish what they start, the ones who fall down but never stay there. So take this guide seriously. Let it become your mirror, not to judge yourself, but to meet yourself, the version that's been hiding beneath hesitation, fear, and comfort. Let it show you what you're really made of, not someday, not in theory, but right now, in real time. Because once you look into that mirror and realize you're capable of more, you won't settle for less ever again. That's not just change, that's transformation, and it starts with one decision, 1 month, and one brutally honest look at the person in the mirror. So here's the truth, plain and undeniable. Your life won't change by accident. It changes by intention. And that intention starts with you, not tomorrow, not next week. *** now. *** you've just been handed the blueprint. 4 weeks, 1 month. A challenge not for your body, not even just for your habits, but for your soul. This isn't about grinding endlessly. It's about proving to yourself what's possible when you stop playing small and finally commit. With everything in you, you don't need more time. You don't need more motivation. What you need is a * decision. * a fierce, non-negotiable decision that enough is enough. That you're done watching life from the sidelines. That you're done letting your past define your future. That you're ready to do the hard work, the uncomfortable work, the real work. Because when you give yourself 1 month of unwavering discipline, when you wake up early, push through resistance, cancel the noise, and live with ruthless purpose, you become dangerous, you become undeniable. You stop hoping for a better life and start creating it. And listen, this 1 month isn't the end of the journey, it's the beginning. It's the moment everything turns, the moment your excuses die and your new identity is born. The moment you look back on and say, that was it, that's when everything changed. So stand up, step up, and take your life into your own hands. The world isn't waiting, your future isn't waiting. ***, but your greatness is. ***, and it's only 1 month away.